Well, what's up, everybody? So I want to make a little different video than what I usually do. I want to make a sort of unscripted commentary where I just talk over some gameplay and about some topic I want to cover. Although I haven't exactly made a lot of video on this channel, so there's really isn't a standard format for this channel yet. But anyway, today I just want to make a more casual, less scripted commentary about just one topic, which is, why do I still play this game? Well, it might say, it's simple then. You like the game, you keep playing it. But the problem, or rather the question arises when I actually don't think this is that good of a game. Like, personally, I think this is a very flawed and at best a mediocre game. Like, to me, if you rate this game on a scale of 10, if you rate it any higher than 6, I think you're delusional. And I'm not going to argue with you if you think the game's 8, 9, or even 10 out of 10, because that's just opinion. The question here is that, why do I keep playing and even enjoy somewhat a very flawed game? Like, this game flopped really hard. It flopped so hard that Ubisoft pushed back the release of Rainbow Six Quarantine, which is Extraction now, or whatever the fuck it is, I don't care. Breakpoint flopped so hard that Ubisoft needs to rethink their entire strategy. And I don't think the negative reception from the reviewers and the market in general is undeserved. I think fundamentally this is still a very flawed game, and there's stuff you just can't fix post-launch. You can maybe remedy it a little bit, but you just can't fix. Like, you can't fix the narrative, you can't really fix the base gameplay, and you can't fix the open world. The game is so littered with problems, even to this day, you just can't stop running into issues or just gameplay design flaws while you're playing the game. Like, you're gonna find something that annoys you like every 3 to 5 minutes while you're playing. Like the breaching system you're seeing right here. Like, it's fun and all, but it's still not without problem. Like, right here, see, I just killed myself. And it's something brand new they added later into the game. And you're telling me you couldn't make like a breaching charge? You know how easy it would have been? You just make another C4, maybe give it a different model, and make the blast radius smaller. I mean, sure, you don't stand right next to breaching charges, even in real life, but come on. I shouldn't need to stand like 20 meters away from the door just to stay clear of the breaching charge. The game is just constantly reminding you that the whole thing is not well thought out, even in a relatively decent DLC like this. Now, after that whole rant, you can probably tell that I do not hold this game in high regard. However, I keep finding myself booting up the game from time to time, and even over Wildlands sometimes, which is crazy because I think Wildlands is a way better game. And at the time of recording this video, I've already clocked in at over 200 hours of playtime. So here comes the question: if I hate the game, how could I keep playing it? I finished all the missions from Greenstone to all the way to Amber Sky at around, I think, maybe 150 or 160 hours. So obviously the game definitely did something right. Otherwise I wouldn't be playing through the whole game and kept playing it even after I finished all the missions. So at this point I started asking myself, what is it that kept me going in this game? And no, it's not because I secretly love this game and just don't want to admit it. I stand by my statement that this game is very flawed and is only mediocre at the best of times. That said, it doesn't mean I think the game has no redeeming or even good qualities to it. The game does have some strong points, and I think you're looking at it right now. You might be thinking, what are you talking about? It's just the gameplay. And exactly, the gameplay. Specifically, the combat, which includes gunplay and movement, and also customization. Now, I'm not saying these aspects of the game are perfect. For instance, the gunplay is probably not the best out there when comparing against other shooter games. The gun sound, the feedback, like the concussion you feel when you fire the gun, and also especially the ballistics, they're all somewhat lacking. I mean, the bullet drop is horrible. There's this extreme drop off after 200 meters, and by the time you're shooting at targets beyond 300-400 meters, you'll be aiming at the sky. As for movement, don't even get me started on the sliding. Oh my god, you just slide and trip all over the place. You can stand on like a 15-20 degree slope, it'll start sliding. I mean, don't take sliding out of the game. It's a okay mechanic, it's just they need to tone it down a little bit. And lastly, the customization. There's a lot of options people want and the game doesn't have. And also the plate carrier or the vests are mostly too empty. There are enough community requests and complaints on these topics. I'm not going to repeat them all here. You just need to know that even with these quote-unquote good aspects of the game, there's still problems. But the fact that there's a lot of complaints with these subsystems or aspects of the game does not necessarily mean that these are the weak points of the game. Because despite all the problems mentioned above, I'm still having the most fun while I'm in combat and while I'm customizing my character. Like the movement and the camera angle in combat, I think they've done a great job with those in this game. Like in Wildlands, I was never able to get fully comfortable no matter which shoulder I swap to while I'm aiming down sights. And in Breakpoint, I don't have such an issue. Usually with the shoulder swap, I can find a comfortable angle I can shoot from and not have my vision being obscured too much. With all that said, what I'm getting at here is that despite all the problems this game has, or how Ubisoft showed themselves to be tone deaf towards their own community, or how they don't have a good understanding of their own IP, Tom Clancy IP, I still think there's a strong enough foundation on which they can build a good Ghost Recon game. I can't speak for all, obviously, but for me at least, the animation, the gunplay, and the character customization is good enough that it kept me playing for 200 hours and even more. Yes, they do need improvements, but they're also at some level of competency and can bring some enjoyment to me as a player. So the main takeaway today is that there's still hope, I guess. It might be slim, but there's still good core gameplay in Breakpoint that Ubisoft Paris can build on. It's just that they need to refine and further improve on these good gameplay elements. And there's also the fact that everything surrounding these somewhat decent gameplay elements just falls apart completely in Breakpoint, and they need to address that. Like the AIs in this game. Just look at these so-called elite soldiers, the wolves. They just walk in like a single file and all gets gunned down in this doorway. And it's just depressing to see. But still, like I said, the combat is fun and the customization is fun as well. These gameplay elements are the reasons why I still play this game. All you need to do is clean up the AI, make a more interesting open world with better setting, design some more interesting and inspiring missions, and tweak the combat and customizations a little bit, and bam, you get the game you need. I mean, come on Ubisoft, it's doable, make it happen. I'm sure the title turned out a little bit misleading, but ultimately, I just want to highlight what Ubisoft Paris has done right, or at least right enough, and the Ghost Recon community can still be somewhat hopeful for the future of this franchise. That's all for the commentary. Thank you if you watched it this far. If you like what you see, maybe give it a like, and I hope to see you next time.